seconds.
And then we'll start with you introducing yourself.
Sure.
But you can look at me.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that was cute. Yeah. Now we're like the Kelty fan club, right?
Oh, I know. I'm a fan.
I'm watching for Kelty.
Yeah,
She's amazing.
pulling for Kelsey.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, please, and we'll have that on tape.
Sure. I'm Alison Osbell, and I'm a parent of a swimmer she's now in the 13-15 age category, 5th year swimming. And at 4 years old, we knew she wanted to swim synchronized swimming. So there hasn't been a day go by where she's ever complained about coming to practice, and she prefers it over school. So
Wow.
that's an exciting part, and I've been on the board for Clarny Synchro for the last 4 years, and I've been the president for the last year and a half.
Awesome.
So I'm good at perspective of the sport now.
I was going to say, so maybe you could answer the question first through the lens of parent and then through the lens of president of your club. Can you contrast the old judging system to the new judging system?
For sure. So I think one of the things I like about the new system is that I think that the swimmers have a better understanding of what areas are their areas for improvement, what are their areas that their strengths are in, and it just helps them know for future needs and future practice. The old system, although it was more of a global system, and I think that maybe from a breakdown perspective, the girls didn't always have a sense of where that strength was, and so they, when they got the results, maybe they didn't always know what specific area they could have done better on, where this system seems to help them understand and break it down and be a bit more selective. So I think that that's going to help them in the future.
Great. What about as president and administrator?
Well, for me, communication, right? It's always about communication as our platform, and so for us, I think that this will help our swimmers have a better understanding of the areas that they want to focus on in their practices, and just help our coaches relay that and help them in their own goal setting, because part of what we look at is the goal setting each year and how does that athlete see themselves, and then where do they want to be at the end of the season. And so if they have something that they can track and focus on, it's going to help them in the long run be better athletes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that you want your athletes to think about and drill into how they see themselves.
Yeah.
Would you say as president, there's any communication between you and the coaches on bringing this new framework to the front of what they're teaching?
Certainly, we've been involved with it since it's been provided to us this year, and really looking at how do we integrate it into our overall program, right? So, we look at not only what they do in the pool, but we look at what they're doing off deck, and just how to build their athleticism overall so that they can be better at the sport. And, some of it, you're going to learn a lot in the pool, but you also learn so much by doing other sports and engaging in other strengthening the different muscles. So that's kind of our philosophy, and so we work with the coaches all the time on how can we improve, right? It's always continuous improvement. How can our club become better? How can we offer more to our swimmers to keep them in the sport forever, right? Forever, but as long as they can, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We want to keep our young female swimmers in sport as long as possible, so we follow that whole sport for life philosophy.
Great. And do you see the connection between changing this competitive experience for your athletes and retention?
For sure, because we're very fortunate. A lot of our coaches have been former swimmers, and they've now gone into the coaching levels and have moved up, and they've retained and stayed with the club or within the city and other clubs as well, because they love the sport. And so we see them on deck, and there's many of them here, but they're very committed to the sport. And what great role models to have somebody that has already gone through the experience now share that experience with the young swimmer. So synchro sisterhood, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. More from the gallery on questions?
What about as a parent?
Yeah, I was just gonna say parent-centered question.
Like, yeah,
So it's about
just about the,
Or even like, have you,
Experience.
Sure.
yeah, how about this? What are the conversations between you and your daughter like surrounding this new scoring system?
So at the end of each meet, we reflect on, where you placed, and really it doesn't matter. But she sets her own personal goals, and that I think is because she's maturing in the sport, she kind of knows where she wants to be. And so we just talk about, well, you know, what does this mean to you? So, you know, if your extension has improved, which is a focus, right? Is she wants to improve in her extension, so we look at it as, well, that's great. What do you need to do to, you know, even further improve that? I mean, she has a goal and what she wants to do in terms of swimming, and we'll support her with that goal from a parent perspective as much as we can. And that's part of the reason why we've been involved in this sport, and I've been, you know, involved from the board level because I knew I was going to be in it for the long haul since it's been already quite a period of time. So.
That's great. So it sounds like it allows you to ask better questions.
For sure, we talk about it as a parent, you know, with our daughter in terms of, you know, what is she looking to improve upon, and then how do you get there? So, you know, does she need to work on certain exercises? Then those are things that we build into kind of a routine at home. But it has to be driven from her. Like, it's always based on what her interests are. So if she wants to go into the national stream eventually, then, you know, there'll be a certain set of exercises and strength that she needs to get to in order to get there. And if she doesn't, that's okay too, right? Because it's a balance. It's, as long as she loves the sport as she does and she wants to continue from a parent perspective, we want to embrace that.